Hey, what's up? I'm super excited for today's show because today I get to relax and talk to a person that I consider to be a brother and a friend. I get to work with him almost every day. He is also one of the beautiful dancers at Revolution Dance Theater, but you will come to find out that he has so much more to his story. Joining me today on stage with David Choate, none other than Mr. Antonio White. And doing this show is not just about the people that I get to meet, but just about showing you guys some of the people that I get to connect with sometimes on a daily basis. This next brother is somebody that I just really enjoy talking to, and we always have such good conversations on and off stage. So I'm super pleased to welcome my brother Antonio White. How are you feeling, sir?
Great. Thank you, Jesus.
Yes, yeah.
Hallelujah.
There's always a thank you, Jesus, and a hallelujah in your pocket.
Yes.
Man, that's actually kind of like one place that I want to start. Like you always just have this. I think another friend of ours just over the weekend was talking about how her eyes are drawn to you because you have this exuberance about you. She used the
Yes.
word exuberance. You always seem to always just be in this good mood. You walk in a room and the room shifts. That's awesome. How do you do that?
Jesus Christ, I just feel like he blessed me with a very, very positive attitude and a very positive spirit. Like it's just a part of who I am, and just I'm bubbly
Yeah.
and just the spirit, man. I just can't hold it in.
Wow, that's incredible, and it's interesting that you use the words like "I can't hold it in," because it's definitely something that when I look at you, I go, "Oh, there must be something going on like internally with that brother," because
Yeah, yeah,
you know, not only just in the day to day, like, "Hey, we're just here, like, just having rehearsal and stuff," like, "Oh, and Antonio's in a good mood," but to be able to do that throughout many different like circumstances,
yes,
to be able to like keep that positive energy, right from the top. Um, that's something that's more like joy and not
yes,
happiness, and that's something that comes like from inside.
yes.
But looking at you, it is so evident that that's something that you do not hold in, and you shouldn't stop holding it in.
Yes, I will always say like just through my childhood and just even still to this day, like God has blessed me with this like warrior spirit.
Mm,
Um and just especially me just going through what I've been through homelessness and being judged and just
mm.
you know what I'm saying just life even in any and every thing that's been thrown at me. I've always managed to just fight through and just be happy and just be goofy and just just
Well,
let it all go. I just
well, I don't want to gloss over something you just said. I mean,
yeah,
because that's monumental, and that's something that's birth boss. So you
yes,
showed me a story,
yes,
your Cincy stories that was filmed how many years ago?
about 3 maybe 4 years ago,
3 or 4 years ago.
maybe five.
So it's been some years though. You were
Yes.
experiencing homelessness at that time. Is that right?
Yes, I was actually I had an apartment over in Clifton, and my dance opportunities started to they started to arouse, and
Um,
my dance. I mean, yeah, they started to come up like very quickly, and I just felt like
Go on. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm always in fifth grade. Yeah.
they just I had a choice. I had a choice, and I just felt like what I was doing at that moment wasn't bringing me joy and
Yeah.
happiness and true happiness.
Yeah.
So my mom is very spiritual, and she was like, why don't you see what God has for you? And I was just confused, like what do you mean? She said, just go dance and just put all your time towards dance and just get good at that and just go dance, just see what God has for you. And I was really confused,
Hmm.
but I'm a man full of faith, and so I just decided to just close one door and multiple doors just open.
Wow.
Yep. I devoted all my time to dance. I went broke. Moved in with my sister.
But you feel like this is something God would call you to.
I do honestly, yeah, I do.
So tell me more about that. Like, I want to understand that.
I feel like when God wants, I can't really say what God wants, but I know what, at least with some parts of me, I know pieces of my purpose, but I don't know like I don't have a full understanding. I know it's not about me, it's about the people around me and the next generation coming up.
Hmm.
But I feel like he used my body, and he still continued to use my body in different environments,
Yeah.
um, and very tough ones.
Hmm.
Sometimes at that too.
Still to come on stage with David Choate.
I'm the kind of individual that if I really want to do something, I'm gonna find my way to do it.
Yeah.
I am so excited to share that we have finally got all of the tickets up on our website, and tickets are now on sale for the first season of David Choate Productions. With the all-new DCP and RDT season pass, you're getting 9 shows. That's one show every single month beginning in November. I hope to see you in the theater. Your ticket to my show, somebody else's ticket to an opportunity.
Okay.
So you're dancing a lot of time,
A lot.
doing class rehearsal,
Yes.
studio work,
Yes.
living with sister.
Living
When
with
does
my
that
sister.
change?
It changed maybe like 2 years later. I moved into a house. The church that I'm from, that I originally go to, one of my church members owns a house. Wasn't renting it out at the time. He said, "You're more than welcome to stay there for a year." Stayed there. Moved out. Moved back in with my sister. Yeah, and just still going through a lot, and just going through a lot.
Are you
Also
still
too,
dancing at this point?
I was still dancing. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
still dancing. I was still waking up every morning, showing up to dance. I felt like that, like it was something that, like, dance is something that I can that I can hang on to. Not only something that I can hang on to, something that drive makes me, it gives me drive.
And it's amazing because it obviously gives you joy, but at some
Yeah,
point in this story, you're
yeah,
doing all of this dancing, you're doing all of this work, but you
yes,
don't have a stable living situation. And
yes,
ultimately, that comes to a head
yes,
that results in you not having any living situation
yes,
ultimately.
yes,
And for if I'm a listener or just a person like me, because when we first had this conversation, I told you I don't understand.
yeah,
I don't get it. My knee-jerk reaction is this isn't sustainable.
yeah,
Even from a spiritual point, it's me trying to understand more. Like, are you sure you heard correctly? Like, you think God would call you to this, right?
yeah,
But then I would also say, from a spiritual perspective, and knowing particularly like Christian faith or growing up Baptist,
yeah,
like you hear the story of Job.
yeah,
You know, you know that it is not unlike people to feel like God has called them to do or allowed certain things to happen so that they can be in a position where He can ultimately get the glory.
yes,
So
yes,
that's another conversation. So I'm not going to camp out there. I just wanted to help. If you're like me, like, how does this understand?
yeah,
Ultimately, though, this is the situation we find you in.
yes,
And this is why I wanted to have you on the show, because we're taping this coming out of seeing you on all of these videos,
yes,
out teaching classes.
yes,
Now you're dancing for my company. At
yes,
least, we're gonna
yes,
make sure, we pay you,
yeah, yes, yes,
when
yes,
we
yes,
use you. And it's just incredible though to
yes,
see you, like the last performance I saw you in.
yes,
Beautiful work.
yes. Thank you, thank you.
In front of this live orchestra
Yes,
on this huge stage.
yes,
Um, and I'm watching this whole audience of, predominantly white people, right?
yes,
Um, and not that it makes a difference either way. And it's like we take in this gift.
yes,
We see this exuberance on stage, as the audience
yes,
member commented. But then at the end of the day, everybody else is going back to their homes and
mm-hmm,
they're, driving home in their cars and doing all the things, and
yes,
would have no idea
Yep. Then
where
I'm.
you're going home
Yeah.
to,
Yeah. Literally.
after.
Yes.
How do you stand on stage and perform
Mm.
and give yourself away in this moment?
Man, I just feel like I'm just the kind of person that, I mean, I don't have kids, so I mean, I have a dog. That's the closest thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm the kind of individual that if I really want to do something, I'm gonna take, like, I'm gonna find my way to do it.
Yeah.
Like, regardless. Like,
Yeah.
now I know what I don't want to do,
Yeah.
but I know what I want to do, and that is dance.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that with dreams and everything, there's a lot of sacrifice and a lot of time, and
Mm-hmm.
so I'm willing to do whatever it takes.
Yeah. So what is the dream for you? Like, what does success look like for Antonio? Like, what do you see for yourself?
To be a change in my community.
Mm.
Yeah, to be a change in my community.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up. I'm from Walnut Hills, so
Yeah.
I grew up in Walnut Hills.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
But I want to be a change in my community, in my city. Um, I want to provide resources for adults, kids,
Mm-hmm.
through my gift of dance and my other multiple gifts. But predominantly, like right now, is my heart is in dance,
Yeah.
and I want to make a change. And
So I love
yeah.
this, and I have many thoughts on where we can go, but we'll use this as a good moment to take a really quick break, and then we'll be right back with my brother Antonio.
Still to come, on stage with David Choate.
It challenges me to even think, what are some of the things that I can be doing? I have the heart to do the work,
Yeah.
but am I in the best position to be the one to do it? All right, if you have been listening, we are into a pretty interesting and pretty, I think, kind of getting deep conversation here with Revolution Dance Theater's own,
Let's get deep. Let's ride.
my brother Antonio. All right, so this is what I'm thinking, right?
Yes.
Started this show because we wanted to impact Black culture. We want to drive community. Wanted to have you on the show, like I was saying just before we went to break, because I'm looking at this guy who's on stage doing these really amazing things, right? And it looks like you're killing it. And you are killing it. Like you're doing the thing that you want to do.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm living.
you're literally living your dream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's a couple of components to that
Yes.
where we want to use the platform, we want to use the show to bring people like you on so that other folks who look like us
Yes.
and see us out here winning and see us out here living a dream, they
Yes.
can go, I can too.
Yes.
You can too. Now there's layers now.
Yes.
Because what was so powerful about watching you perform and watching you like teach these classes and do these videos and do these really amazing gigs and meet these people is I know more than the average person what you deal with on a daily basis.
Yes.
And what I do want to communicate is we are an example of no matter where you are in life,
Literally, yes.
no matter what your situation is, one can make a decision and do some work to do the things that they want to do.
Yes.
Now, here's the final caveat, though,
Yeah.
where I would have a problem. it has to be sustainable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, I can only be responsible for the fact, like, at our funding level, we pay you, for gigs, but,
Yeah.
can't at this point, until the funding structure changes, be able to offer full-time employment to people. But then we also try to be conscious of that on time. That's a separate conversation, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I'm so encouraged, one, by your willingness to figure out ways to survive because you're committed to, it sounds like, this is less about I just need to dance,
Yeah.
but more about a work that I need to complete.
Yes.
Is that what keeps you going?
Yes. Like sort of like yourself. Like you got a mission, and I have a mission too, and I wanna complete it or whatnot. And God is taking me through. He's always been taking me on this journey,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been just as time goes on, and I look back, and it's just the things and the tools He provided me with.
Right.
Not only with just dancing in my career and maintaining life outside of class,
Yeah.
but in
Well,
life.
and we have to. So let's talk about that.
Yes. That's that.
God gives you some resources.
He does.
And I understand more than anybody your desire to. You said you want to resource other people.
Yes.
You want to help other people. You want to uplift your community.
Yes.
But you can't give resources.
Yes. Not
if
at
you
this
don't
moment.
have resources.
Yes.
And that is something that I think I have seen as a through line in many different places showing up, within the Black community.
Yes.
We have the heart and we make it happen.
I'm gonna make it
Like
happen.
it's so crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's and it's even popped up in other episodes and came into other conversations about how, like, it just seems like we're doing so well because like the church, even though they really struggling and how we're going to do this bill, but you know what? We're going to take care of this family. We're going to like host this funeral. We're going to do this thing for the community. We're going to, I grew up seeing that, I know, what I'm talking about. You've experienced generosity.
Yeah.
Is it a priority for you though? Or when does it become a priority for you to match your generosity with strategy? So like, what's going to get you to the point where you can really impact the community the way that you really want to? Like, what's going to change about the situation?
I'm still digging deep. That's a really good question. I'm still figuring it out, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I know I don't have too much time to figure it out, but I'm still strategizing how I'm going to do that.
Right.
I'm still planning it all out. So I can't. I want to give you the full answer, but I almost feel like,
and it's okay to say like I don't know. Yeah,
I don't.
And
but I know that
but that's beautiful. Yeah, go ahead.
I know when there's a will, there's a way, and whatever is for me is for me, and God has opened up already so many doors.
And I think we have to. One thing, this God thing.
Yeah.
I remember one of the first time you told me about your situation. Initially, you told me with another friend of ours who, didn't have like a similar experience like us growing up.
No.
And is not of the Christian faith.
No.
And again, even with me having the experience that I had growing up and hearing some of these stories, like I was like kind of like with her, like this sounds nuts.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't sound great. And she was just really concerned though, and it made me think about the need for us to match. You can have faith.
Yes.
And you can believe in God and you can pray and you can do things. But I also believe that things do not always have to be so hard for us.
It doesn't.
And I think that there are ways to do the work and do the good work. 50 Cent says like hustle hard, but then we got to learn how to hustle smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think this show is a really good opportunity, or this conversation is a really good opportunity. And it challenges me to even think, what are some of the things that I can be doing? I have the heart to do the work,
Yeah.
but am I in the best position to be the one to do it? Doesn't mean that I shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Because I can't tell you that you shouldn't be dancing right now.
Yeah.
Because if you were doing this because the numbers made sense, like I wouldn't be doing the show right now. I wouldn't be teaching Revolution Dance Theater. I wouldn't be doing, DCP, because let it be known, we don't have the resources there either. It's all a step of faith.
Yes. Yeah.
But I do think that there are resources and there are things that now I know that I want to share with you, and that I want to share with other people, because I think the conversation is, we need to figure out how we get to a place where we have taken care of ourselves.
Yes.
It is a concept for the Black community that I don't think that many people have been able to have the luxury of enjoying.
Yeah.
Like I'm feeling like I'm like really doing something, just because for the first time, like in my life, like working for myself, at least, I am like, oh yeah, like rent is taken care of. I can pay my car note. And got a lot of overflow, but it's like I can live.
Still making that happen.
And then now the world is seeing how much more stuff I can do, not because I'm by any means rich, but because I can have basic living needs met.
Yes.
I take that and I look at Revolution Dance Theater as an organization.
Yes.
They're in the same place where they want to do certain things. They want to change the world. But as this little nonprofit, not receiving as much resources as it wants, it's limited in its capacity. So everything becomes capacity building. And that's the conversation we need to have as men. Because I don't want you to be solely driven on faith.
Yeah.
To the point that you never build your capacity. Because if you believe that you're called to change this community, then we need to find ways that we can grow what you're doing, impact what you're doing, so that more people can experience it. But before you can touch the masses, you got to touch the one. So on that, we're going to take another quick commercial break, and we'll get back in conversation with my brother, Antonio White.
Still to come on stage with David Choate.
Because struggling only lasts for so long, and I feel like, at least with me, God has blessed me with the mindset to just drive.
And I don't mind if it's turbulent, and I don't mind if it's calm.
All right, so enough on that. We will continue to talk about how we save the world, how we do the things. But now that the people have more of a context, now that the people know that when we see you, you don't know really like all the things.
Nah, you don't.
Yeah,
you don't.
But when we experience you, whether that's on stage, whether that's in conversation, whether that's running into you at the store, we experience the joy that is Antonio. Man, what are some things that you have learned on your journey that you can kind of share with other people? Because sometimes, like when we're having a bad day or something's not going right, we don't know how to have joy. And like, how do you do it?
It's honestly God.
So you gotta have something other than yourself.
Yeah, like I have to have hope. I have to have hope in something other than myself. I know there is something other than myself. I know there's something much more stronger than me. That's why I love God so much.
And not that self isn't important, but that it's a part of a bigger picture.
Yes, it's beyond myself, and God is beyond myself. And I love God, and God has given me the Spirit, and that's why I'm so big on God. Everybody be asking me how you do it. I'm like, man, it's God. Like, I just ask God to give me the strength, and He just allows me to just
and not
focus.
just the God that says, you're gonna have hard times like in the living situation.
Yeah.
But you're talking, there's a God that gives a peace, like what the Bible talks about, this peace that passes understanding,
Yes.
or this joy that's unspeakable. I think this is where people have to really look into text and go, these are things that we've heard growing up, but what does that really mean?
Yes.
And I don't think that people can write those sort of things if you've not been in these sort of places,
Yes.
you know, or been in hard places, I should say.
And people be like, man, like young people that usually go through things like how you experience things,
Mhm.
they don't take on to it well. They might go straight to suicidal, or they might smoke or drink a lot and this, that, and then the third.
Right.
And I have like my issues, my small issues, but
And you know, we all have issues.
yes,
We all have vices. We all have things. But again,
Yes.
if the overwhelming message here is you can too,
Yes, you can too.
I think none of that stuff disqualifies you. What they're looking at are two young black men who may not be at all far off from them, you know, any of you, you know, watching this right now. But again,
yes,
which the light that they see us in typically is winning. They see us on stage. You know, they experience us right now on camera.
it's only you that can stop you from living the dream.
And but you got to have that stuff. You got to have that secret.
You got to have to drive. You got to be
have
passionate.
something that's driving you.
Yes, you gotta be. Well, first of all, you gotta be passionate about what you're doing. If you're not passionate about what you're doing, change what you're doing.
But
Yes.
you know, Simon Sinek, he calls it knowing your why.
Yes.
And that is so big. At Revolution Dance Theater, we call it intentional inclusion.
Yes.
Intention changes everything. What is my intention for today? And you know, we were intent about, you know, building a company of diverse dancers. You know, we were intent about, you know, doing certain things, and that's why we met certain goals. And so it sounds like what you're telling other young men who are listening is, I heard two things so far. You got to have something that is in you,
yes,
but bigger than you.
Yes.
And you have to have the passion, or you have to have the why to run after whatever it is.
Yes.
So take me to your why. At what age what happened, or when did you experience? Because to your point, not everybody decides like, I'm not gonna let life just happen to me.
Yeah.
Or people go the opposite way, and there's nothing wrong with, you know, getting a, you know, whatever good job and taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
But you said it's not really about just because you had a job.
Yeah,
you were
I had
taking care of self.
Oh yeah.
But you felt like I'm supposed to be doing something else.
Yes, I'm a man I'm a jack of all trades, man. Like, to be honest with you, I'm blessed with so much, but I feel like with dance,
what made you want to do not just dance, but what made you want to do it to impact your community?
Who doesn't love to dance? I love to dance, and the kids love to dance, and it's all about what can I do to change people's mindsets, change the world. I hope I can, but it's so much going on,
and I think you could.
Yeah, like,
I think if you could tell a little black kid in Walnut Hills who might even be experiencing homelessness, that if they worked just hard enough,
yes,
there are some things that could come their way that will blow their mind.
Yes.
I think your story could and can change the world.
God has a purpose for you, and whatever is for you, it will make it to you regardless. But I just feel like it's important to know that if you in a spot where you want to pursue something, but you're also struggling to still pursue those dreams, and because struggling only lasts for so long, and I feel like, at least with me, God has blessed me with the mindset to just drive and just put the foot in the door.
Yeah.
He said, don't think about where you at.
Yeah.
I got you. I got your back.
Planning is important.
Planning is
But
very important.
If we waited until we had everything figured out, God knows we would still be waiting.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't want to wait. I want it right now. I want this life. I want it all. So
Still to come on stage with David Choate.
I was praying, and then God opened up a door, and my mom was right there to let me know you gonna walk in it, or you gonna let it walk away. I work for it, man, and I'm continuing to put in the work. But
Yeah.
if you want it, for the man that wants it bad enough, you will do anything it takes, and you will eliminate all distractions.
Right. I want to be in a place, things are starting to get better around, here.
Yes.
The more people do stuff like this, tune in to the show. They either donate to Revolution Dance Theater, they give to the Dream Project, they come to a show,
Yeah.
DCP. It what that does is it's not at this point now elevating me, but it's what's allowed me to spend so much time with you.
Yes.
And to try to now monetize that time, to now be able to say, hey, now we got this show going on, and we're gonna need to hire a contractor to come in and help, get the warehouse together and pull that in, and being able to say, we got more teaching opportunities coming up, and I can't do them all.
It's a blessing.
Can you come teach this class?
Yes.
Or being able to now say, oh, we've got so much traffic. I wonder if it's just about time we create a position to where we have you coming to do these different things. And so that's what I think is so beautiful, because we're learning, again, what you're witnessing in real time
Yes.
is, are two smart Black boys,
Yes.
Black men,
Driven,
coming into it and going, it looks real bad, situations real scarce,
Yes.
but we're going to figure it out. And it's moving and it's trending in the right direction.
Yes.
And you being who you are, you encourage me. You've been such an encouragement to so many other people. And I just only hope that people continue to support this type of work, so that we can continue to create space,
Yes.
to make sustainable life change for you.
Yes.
That's what it's about. Yeah.
Yes.
So what would you say to the folks that make it possible now for you to do what you do, and to be able to come in and teach, and the gig opportunities that are coming down, like what do you say?
Thanks to David.
Hey, not to me, to them. Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks to my parents. Thanks to David. Thanks to people like David in my circle that make this dream come true. You make a sacrifice for people, and you have a really good heart and a really good disposition, and nobody can't do what you do, and everybody isn't meant for this kind of work. I feel like it takes a real chosen one to deal with this kind of stuff, and to walk the path that we walk.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's the dream.
Would you take it back?
Take it back.
If you had the chance to do it all over again, would you still choose dance?
Yes. I would.
So you could take us all the way back to that moment, and knowing what you know now.
Yeah.
You've got the house, you're working, but you're not happy inside. And mom says, if dance is really what you want to do,
yes,
then go dance. Would you still have chosen to go dance knowing what you know now?
Honestly, yes, I would.
Wow.
Because
Wow,
how
that's
else
beautiful. Yeah.
would I how else was my technique gonna get better? Or how
Mm.
else was how was I going to evolve as a dancer?
Mm.
Yeah, man, like like looking back, I would have never known that it takes homelessness or it takes sacrifice. I've known that it would have been a sacrifice. I was only 19.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I was
Wow.
only 19. I'm 26 now. I was only 19. I was 19.
Yeah.
I was 16 when I started dancing,
Mm.
but I was 19 when I stopped for like a few months, and then I realized like that was really what I really wanted. I really
Something
wanted.
was missing.
Yeah, something was missing. Like, and I was praying, and then God opened up a door, and my mom was right there to let me know you gonna walk in it, or you gonna let it walk away, and so me being me,
Yeah.
and just like I don't care at all. Like I said, like if I want to do something, I'm the type of person I'm gonna do it.
Right.
Especially when it comes to like my dreams.
No excuses.
No excuses.
No
I could be.
excuses. Yeah.
I mean, I've been through the worst.
You
Like so,
know,
like
there are people idea me to death.
yeah,
I and sometimes I think I come off, like I'm not supportive of, some other people's things, and I have to work on that. I have to work on my facial expression. Uh, God ain't done with me yet. But
yeah.
man, what I love about you is you're you're a testimony to not just what I want to do. It it's what you're doing. You want to make a beat, you sit down and you make that happen. You want to dance, you find a studio and you make that happen, and you've been committed to that. And then the other thing you decided that you want to do is that you want to change the community and that you want to change the damn world. And knowing what I know about you, you're gonna make that happen. And so
Yes, but
that
it all
that's
starts right
exciting.
now.
It starts
your
right now.
company,
It's
yes.
happening. Hey,
Yes, starting with these kids.
yeah, starting with the kids, starting with this
Yes.
content, starting with the people who's gonna listen to this and be encouraged by it.
Yes.
Like, if you don't hear anything else that we said, just know that whatever situation you're sitting in, and I know that it can be really bad, you're listening to two people who know what it is to be in some crazy situations.
Yes.
To look like things cannot get better, but the seats that you see us in now,
Praise the Lord.
but God.
Yes.
God,
Thank you, Jesus.
Man, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. Like
Man, I'm so happy.
we talk all the time, and I know how rich it is, and I just really wanted to share with other people. So
yes, somebody needs this story. Somebody needs it. I feel like a lot of people need it. I just feel like we all look at money and we all feel like
it's not money isn't everything.
It isn't.
It's the value, though. There is a value that money represents.
Yes.
And I think when you understand that, and you understand what is it that I want to do with money?
Yes.
How do I make the money work for me to accomplish what is the goal?
How do I want to invest it? Yes.
But it goes back to what we said.
Yes.
It's faith.
It's faith.
But strategy.
You gotta have faith.
Yeah, gotta have faith.
Even through stuff like this. Like
faith without works.
Yes, people see you throwing shows and people see you like producing and stuff like that. Don't know what kind of stress it comes with.
Oh, tons of it. Yeah.
But it's purposeful.
Yeah.
It's very fruitful.
And the same as you, I wouldn't take it back. If going back and even knowing all of the heartache and all of the late nights and all of the sacrifices, I wouldn't take it back either. So,
I love this dream.
Yeah. Man, dare to dream, everybody.
Yes.
Hopefully it won't always be as hard as, some of the things that some of us have had to go through.
Yes.
But I'm glad for people like you, Antonio, who are willing to come on this show and to be vulnerable and to let other people know those 3 words: you can
do it.
So until next time, I'll see you on stage with David Choate. Man, what an absolutely powerful and moving conversation, just as I knew that it would be. Again, special thank you to my brother Antonio White for coming out and sharing so much of himself with us is something that I definitely appreciate, and I hope that you do too. There were just a few things that I wanted to share in my final thought. Um, Man, if you're watching this, you can see my shirt. If you make it out, says art should disturb the comfortable and comfort the disturbed. There are some of us who really believe, because we see with our own eyes in real time the power of storytelling, the power of art, the power of something like dance. But one thing I was sharing with Antonio, and what I really want to drive home with all of you, is that I also believe that we're not just, called to do things. We not just called to have passion about things, but we have to make sure that we're coming together and making sure that our passions are met with strategy. Um, and I believe, even if you're coming at this from a faith perspective, if this is something that you believe in, I believe that the things that God calls you to, He will give you, the resources and the strength and the things that you need to make it through. And not only is He a God of vision, but I happen to believe that He's a God of provision as well. So I'm going to do some things to continue to work with people like Antonio, to continue to make sure that we can be a place to, give people an opportunity to not just do work, but do work and get paid. That's a novel idea. And we want to do more of that. If you want to support more of the work that we have going on, feel free to check out dcproductions.net and see some of the work that we have going on, or you can hit up one of our initiatives, supportblackart.org. But until next time, I'll see you on stage with David Choate.